In today's news, BVIHSA welcomes the first babies of 2025. Uber SOCA Cruise adds BVI to the 2025 itinerary. UN and ministers endorse BVI's calls for SIDS resilience. Silver Airways seeks financial revival. Trinidad imposes state of emergency. Puerto Rico faces massive blackout. Barbados Airport receives record 54 flights in just one day. Jimmy Carter, former U.S. president, has died. And of course, we take a look at our 2024 year in review in the British Virgin Islands and beyond. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Well, am I covered?
Yeah, you're with CG. Remember when I was dabbling in knife throwing bingo? Well, one night I won, but I also got a bullseye. No. In a beehive. I ran for hours. They caught me in the end, though. Anyway, I was covered, and I got to keep my trophy. Uh-oh.
Best medical cover for the price. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Attention Anegada residents! Attention Anegada residents! CCT is coming to you! That's right! CCT will be visiting Anegada every third Wednesday of the month. Need to pay your bill? Sign up for a new service? Or have a customer service concern? CCT has got you covered. No need to leave the island. CCT is here to make staying connected easier than ever. Mark your calendars for every third Wednesday starting October 16th and visit us for all your CCT service needs. For more information, call us at 444-4444 or follow us on any of our social media pages. See you soon, Anegada!
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. It is Friday, January 3rd, 2025. I'm Ron Grant bringing you the very latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Friday's wish to each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for joining us. Beginning our newscast on the local scene, the BVI Health Services Authority was pleased to announce the arrival of the very first babies of the new year, born at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. At 12:10 p.m., Rebecca Wong Hong and Oliver Scott welcomed their beautiful baby boy, James Scott, weighing 3.45 kilograms. Just minutes later, 1 minute later that is, at 12:11 p.m., Chantel Kane and Seymour Cole celebrated the arrival of their lovely baby girl weighing 3.205 kilograms. Each year, in celebration of these precious arrivals at the dawn of a new year, the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, in partnership with the BVIHSA, presents a special gift basket to the first baby of the new year. As such, Mr. Hakeem Gravenson, marketing assistant at the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, personally delivered the gift basket to baby James Scott. For the second baby, nurse manager Angela Rock and her team from the Obstetrics and Gynecological Unit proudly presented a gift basket to baby girl Kane Cole, recognizing her arrival as the second baby of the new year, just 1 minute apart. This collaboration between the National Bank of the Virgin Islands and the BVIHSA underscores the bank's commitment, they say, to celebrating new beginnings and supporting families as they welcome their little ones. The BVIHSA extended heartfelt congratulations to both families and wishes them a year filled with health, happiness, and joy. The owners, management, and staff of CCT, BVI Cable TV, and our team here at 284 Media also extend congratulations to both families. The Uber SOCA Cruise, renowned as the largest Caribbean music festival at sea, will make its very first ever stop in Tortola, BVI during its 2025 voyage, marking a milestone for the region's tourism and cultural exposure. Now, the announcement was made in a Facebook post on December 27th, where the Uber SOCA Cruise team revealed the Norwegian Encore as the largest vessel in Norwegian Cruise Line's fleet and will host the 2025 cruise from November 15th to the 27th.
I ain't coming down, I ain't coming, tell them I am.
The cruise will also visit Great Citrus Key, Bahamas, and St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands during the 7-night voyage. It promises an impressive SOCA experience featuring over 55 events, including live concerts, themed parties, poolside celebrations, and wellness activities, alongside traditional Caribbean parties like the Juve. In addition to Tortola, the itinerary is expected to bring economic and cultural benefits to the British Virgin Islands, as well as the other islands included, attracting SOCA enthusiasts from around the world. Guests will have the chance to explore the island's natural beauty, as well as engage with our BVI's rich culture. The United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, and ministers from Latin America and the Caribbean officially endorsed the British Virgin Islands' call for assistance to all small island developing states in the Caribbean, including Caribbean territories that are associate members of United Nations regional commissions, in order to help them become more resilient to disasters caused by hurricanes as well as extreme weather events driven by climate change. The endorsement followed the intervention of BVI Special Envoy and UN Representative Mr. Benito Wheatley at the 6th high-level meeting on the implementation of the Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015 to 2030 that took place in Basse-Terre, St. Kitts, and Nevis. Mr. Wheatley highlighted the economic impact of extreme weather on the BVI and other SIDS, and the high financial cost of disaster risk reduction and other measures necessary to achieve climate resilience. He also emphasized the continued injustice towards several highly vulnerable SIDS classified as middle and high income that remain ineligible for development and climate finance that would give them access to concessional financing and grants needed to build climate resilience, respond to disasters, and drive sustainable development. In response, participants reflected on these concerns in the meeting, an outcome which stated, and I quote, "The ministers and authorities recognize the high and increasing cost of reducing risk to improve human security outcomes and promote climate resilience. In particular, they highlighted the challenges for SIDS, including those classified as middle and high income countries, as well as the associate members of the United Nations regional commissions that are deemed vulnerable, yet not eligible for international development assistance." Underscoring, of course, the priority of securing justice and financing for all SIDS, they called for increased investment in adaptation, access, and concessional financing at scale, the scaling up of climate-smart investments, and the integration of multidimensional vulnerabilities into disaster risk reduction strategies. Financial support for SIDS is critical to building their social and economic resilience and reducing disaster-related losses. Early warning systems were also strongly encouraged across Latin America and the Caribbean. The meeting was chaired by the Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Terence Drew, on 5th December and held in the margins of the 13th Caribbean Conference on Comprehensive Disaster Management. Up next, viewers, we have much more on the local as well as regional scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service.
Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I watching ball. I even watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Silver Airways, a regional carrier based in Fort Lauderdale, announced on December 30th that it has voluntarily filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The airline will continue, they say, normal operations as it works to restructure its finances. The filing allows Silver Airways to recognize without the threat of credit actions. The company plans, they say, to use the first quarter of 2025 to attract new capital and realign its financial structure. They said, and I quote, "This decision allows us to move forward with confidence and strengthen the airline." Founded in 2011 on the foundation of the defunct Gulfstream International Airlines, Silver Airways launched operations in December of 2011. Its fleet includes 8 ATR-42-600s and 6 ATR-72-600s, serving regional destinations from its base at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. Despite its operational continuation, the restructuring process underscores the challenges faced by the airline industry overall, including fluctuating demand and rising cost. Silver Airways is optimistic about emerging from Chapter 11 as a stronger, more competitive airline. Further details about the potential investors or specific restructuring plans are expected in the coming months. Over on Trinidad and Tobago, a nationwide state of emergency was declared on Monday in Trinidad and Tobago following a weekend of deadly gang violence that left at least 7 dead in Port of Spain. Authorities reported 623 murders in 2024, marking the highest toll in more than a decade for the dual island nation of 1.5 million people. National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines described the escalating violence as an epidemic during the press conference announced with regards to the various measures.
Let me share with you some of the broader statistics year to date. Well, as at the 26th of December 2024, this is what I have. 551 incidents, murders, but 614 victims. So of the 551 incidents, 614 people would have died, 93 of which were incidents with more than one victim. In particular, for that period, there were 33 double homicides, 8 triple homicides, 4 quadruple homicides, and 1 quintuple homicide. As Minister Young would have explained and you would have understood, a lot having to do with the type of weapon and the type of ammunition that is in the theater of these conflicts. A lot of it inter-gang, having nothing to do with you and me, but we are traumatized by it as a society, and in many cases we are innocent bystander victims to it. And with all of the international implications about the state and all of the commentary, quite a serious state of affairs. Woundings and shootings, quite in addition to the murders I've just highlighted to you. So far, 616 incidents of woundings and shootings, meaning where the person, the victim, is shot, but fortunately did not die. And those 616 incidents of wounding and shootings accounted for 713 victims. There is no doubt in my mind that we are dealing with an epidemic.
Most recently, violence erupted after a gang leader was killed in brazen attack near Besson Street Police Station on Saturday. Retaliatory shootings followed in Laventel, a neighborhood plagued by gang activity, claiming 5 more lives. Residents expressed fears of further bloodshed, with some of the victims reportedly innocent bystanders. During the state of emergency, security forces will deploy in greater numbers, empowered to conduct warrantless searches and detain suspects for up to 48 hours without charges. The crisis comes as the country approaches a heated election season, with Prime Minister Keith Rowley's People's National Movement Party facing stiff opposition from the United National Congress. Trinidad and Tobago has long been a hotspot for organized crime, fueled by its proximity to Venezuela, and key narcotics, of course, routes to the United States, Europe, and Canada. Authorities have linked the majority of the killings to gang rivalries and drug trafficking. Residents in affected areas are being urged and reminded gang violence members to stand down, fearing that the violence will claim more innocent lives. While no curfew is in place, the government's actions mark one of its most aggressive efforts to combat crime in recent years. More than 1.3 million people in Puerto Rico started the new year in darkness after a nearly island-wide blackout struck on New Year's Eve, leaving residents without electricity for essential services. Luma Energy, the private company overseeing electricity transmission and distribution, said an underground line fault at the Costa Sur power plant caused cascading failures across the grid. Restoration efforts were underway, with officials estimating it would take 24 to 48 hours to fully restore. By late Tuesday, power was back on for over 700,000 clients, including hospitals and critical infrastructure, but frustration remains high among residents. One said, "We can't keep relying on an energy system that fills our people." This was by Jennifer Gonzalez Collin, Puerto Rico's U.S. congressional representative and incoming governor. She wrote this on social media and said that the power grid has faced persistent challenges since the hurricanes of Maria, and which of course devastated the country in 2017. U.S. government funding has aimed to strengthen infrastructure, but delays in implementation have slowed within progress. This latest outrage has intensified calls for long-term solutions. Governor Pedro Pasuli demanded answers from Luma Energy and Genera, the island's main power companies, while residents shared their frustrations about frequent disruptions. Up next, viewers, much more on the local and regional scene.
Start the year off with more. More speed, more downloading, more savings, and more fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI CCT Fire and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Moving on to Barbados, on Saturday, December 21st, 54 planes arrived at Barbados's Grantley Adams International Airport, marking a historic milestone for the airport and the tourism industry. Ian Gooding, Minister for Tourism and International Transport, who was present for the arrival of the first Delta Saturday flight only out of John F. K. International Airport, stated that approximately 8,000 passengers would have arrived on the island as a result of the 54 flights, with 2,200 of those passengers being air-to-sea transfers. Mr. Gooding stated that the milestone demonstrated the success of the ministry and Barbados's Tourism Marketing Inc., a airlift strategy. He provided a breakdown of the aircraft that landed at GAIA. He said, and I quote, "Our airlift approach has increased the number of visitors to Barbados. Today is also a landmark day for Grantley Adams International Airport. I must inform you that today this airport will see 54 flights, 15 broad-body aircrafts, and 15 narrow-body flights, as well as 24 regional." Minister Gooding also thanked the ministry's staff, people in the aviation sector, tourism stakeholders, and in particular, Peter Mayers, BTMI's director for the U.S. He said, and I quote, "I'd also like to congratulate the Barbados Tourism Marketing team team, which is situated in the United States. This team accompanied us on our trip and assisted us in negotiating with the airlines to achieve success we see with this particular strategy. The team is led by our director, Peter Mears. He also stated that the number of increased airlifts was evident in visitor arrival figures compared to 2019. Another, he said, intriguing fact is that Brantley Adams International Airport is expected to handle some 2.35 million passengers by the end of this year. According to Mr. Gooding, this significantly increased from the 2.29 passengers reported in 2019. The minister also stated that the ministry plans to increase airlifts to the island from the United States as well as Europe. Chief Executive Officer Mr. Hadley Bourne of the GIAA also provided an update on the organization's operations, stating he explained that one of the measures to improve the airport experience was the implementation of the Concorde experience. He said, so we would have heard the minister speak about this tourism strategy and the growth that we are seeing in all of the various markets, including air-to-air sea, and one of those pretty good initiatives that we would have also engaged in to improve the overall experience at the Brantley Adams International Airport, and that is the opening of the Concorde experience. Of course, he said it's been open for about 6 weeks and we've had excellent response from all stakeholders, including passengers, ship workers, and local stakeholders. On any given Friday or Saturday, the facility, he said, handles more than 1,500 travelers. This alleviates a major burden on the main terminal, allowing the minister to expand his commercial activity. And this is just one of the initiatives we've been seeing. Because for us, he said, client experience is critical to preserving and sustaining the tourism product that we promote. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter has died at age 100. The former peanut farmer lived longer than any president in the history and celebrated his 100th birthday in October of 2024. The Carter Center, which advocates for democracy and human rights around the world, said he died on Sunday afternoon at his home in Plains, Georgia. The Democratic president served as president from 1977 to 1981, a period beset by economic and diplomatic crises. After leaving the White House with low approval ratings, his reputation was restored through humanitarian work, which earned him the Nobel Peace Prize. My father was a hero not only to me, but to everyone who believes in peace, human rights, and unselfish love, his son Chip Carter said in a statement. He continued by saying the world is our family because of the way he brought people together, and we thank you for honoring his memory by continuing to live these shared beliefs. Carter, who prior to becoming president was governor of Georgia, a lieutenant in the U.S. Navy, and a farmer, is survived by his 4 children, 11 grandchildren, and 14 great-grandchildren. His wife, Rosalind, he was married to for some 77 years, died in November of 2023. Since 2018 and the death of George H.W. Bush, he was the oldest surviving U.S. president. 284 Media has taken the time to once again chronicle all major events and happenings from 2024. We covered crime, sports, entertainment, the COI, government, the trial of Andrew Foy, and those we lost, along with much more. Over the course of the few days which we have already begun, you get a chance to sit back and recap 2024 with us. Take a look.
What a beautiful day in the British Virgin Islands, and what a perfect day to look back on a year that has been nothing short of remarkable. A year full of accomplishments and triumphs for the community, both locally and on the international stage. I'm Jacques Wooding, and today on 284 Media's 2024 Year in Review, we take a look at the community milestones and viral stories that defined 2024, including a special guest visit from Miss British Virgin Islands 2024-2025, Adacia Adonis, who will share her reflections on a year that has been memorable. With that, we head straight into this year's community milestones. As we reflect on the past year, the British Virgin Islands has seen transformative strides in the community, from leadership transitions to innovative initiatives and cultural achievements. 2024 has been a year of growth, empowerment, and recognition. A new governor steps in. As we stepped into 2024, the British Virgin Islands welcomed a new governor, His Excellency Daniel Bruce. With over 3 decades of experience in public service and diplomacy, Governor Bruce brought a seasoned perspective to his role. His swearing-in ceremony at the Supreme Court marks the beginning of a new chapter in the territory's leadership.
It's an honor and a privilege to have been appointed by His Majesty the King as his representative and to be sworn in today as Governor of the Virgin Islands. I should like to recognize those governors who have gone before me, including my most recent predecessor, former Governor John Rankin. My priority as Governor will be to deliver positive change for all the people of the Virgin Islands. So I very much look forward to working in close cooperation and partnership with all the branches of the government of the Virgin Islands, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. I look forward to building close relations with all communities in the territory and drawing from their insights as I set about my work. I will aim to be a governor who is accessible to everyone, including all branches of civil society, public servants, and the private sector. And of course, I will engage with the government of the United Kingdom, representing the interests of these islands to the very best of my ability.
Before his appointment, Governor Bruce had served as British Ambassador to the Philippines and Deputy Head of Mission in Madrid and Bangkok. His diplomatic expertise and commitment to service promised a steady hand at the helm during a crucial time in the British Virgin Islands. The first ever BVI Banking Expo. For the first time in history, the Virgin Islands hosted a Banking Expo, an event designed to bridge the gap between financial institutions and the entrepreneurial community. Held in June, the expo brought together business owners, regulators, and financial experts in a collaborative effort to strengthen the local banking industry. Former Deputy Premier Lorna Smith spearheaded the initiative, emphasizing the importance of providing small and medium-sized businesses with the tools they need to navigate the banking sector. The event extended its reach to entrepreneurs in the sister islands, ensuring inclusivity and fostering a spirit of mutual understanding. Rehabilitation and reintegration at His Majesty's Prison. In a groundbreaking effort to support inmate rehabilitation, His Majesty's Prison launched its first ever life skills reintegration program. Over 6 weeks, 14 inmates, 9 men and 5 women, participated in sessions focused on mental health, financial management, and spiritual growth. This program represented a collective effort to prepare inmates for reintegration into society, addressing the root causes of reoffending and building stronger connections between rehabilitation and community support. This initiative was part of the prison's broader Through the Gate strategy, which aimed to smooth the transition from incarceration to community life. CCT adopts Willard Wheatley Primary School. In May, the Willard Wheatley Primary School took a giant leap into the digital age thanks to the generosity of Caribbean Cellular Telephone Limited, CCT. The telecommunications company completed the installation of high-speed fiber internet, transforming the school into a Wi-Fi-enabled campus. Shareholder Romney Penn told 284Media, quote, "This initiative is not just about connectivity. It's about creating opportunities for our young minds to thrive in a technology-driven world. Giving back to this school, which holds deep personal significance for my family, is truly a privilege." The project was a testament to the power of community partnerships, with CCT committing over $15,000 annually to the school through the Virgin Islands Adopt a School program.
For the full episodes of Year in Review, visit all 284Media platforms. Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at 284media.com, and of course, like us on Facebook at 284Media and 284BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. In addition to that, follow us on our WhatsApp channels. I'm Ron Grant. I'll see you again on Monday. Do have a safe and enjoyable weekend. A happy Friday. Goodbye.